Hi and a very good evening all of you. So today I'm going to discuss a very sought out topic for NEET MDS, which is tips and tricks to solve questions in NEET MDS exam. A very important thing, a very crucial information regarding the success in NEET MDS exam. So definitely I'm going to start with the exam pattern because that's very important to understand. I've done a detailed video on this, the exam pattern. I'll put the link in the comment section and pin it out for you. But yes, still you have to understand something related to this particular topic. The exam pattern has to be understood. Now, yes, time management. How many rounds should I take to attempt the 240 questions? Okay, very important. Now, how many questions to attempt? Now, this is based on toppers' experience. How much did they attempt and what was the ranks they received based on that. Okay. Now, how to attempt clinical questions? Many students have this. Okay, memory-based questions is very easy, but yes, clinical questions, image-based questions, how to attempt them, how to attempt the questions which you are confused about, how to arrive at an answer. Okay, then I'll go into how to attempt new questions, that is modified versions of the repeats, how to attempt them. Now, how to attempt new questions which you have no idea about what to do with them. Then I'll come to importance of easy questions. Okay, where I've discussed all those difficult areas, people might not understand the importance, so I'll just discuss it separately. Then a little bit on troubleshooting, that is how to decrease negative markings. What if I feel like first I attempted this, I felt like this is correct, then I thought like this might be correct, so what should be done in that kind of things? What if an intuition comes to your mind? All these are crucial informations which you have to be aware about. Okay, so let us start right away. But before that, I need you to do something from your side, which is definitely going to help you as well. What is that? Share knowledge. Okay, share your knowledge. Very, very important. Help others. This is going to give you that, I told in the last video, divine help is going to come. That intuitions are going to come due to this. Okay, that support is going to come. Don't hide your knowledge. Share your knowledge. Whether it's your knowledge or whether the knowledge imparted to you, for example, through this video, share it to your friends. Don't think that, no, if they come to know about the exam pattern, how to attempt and all, then they will get that rank. No. The more you share the knowledge, the more knowledge you get. Okay, so please do that and bring that positivity. This is where many students end up being negative, whether in your NEET MDS preparation or your actual life. Okay, so make sure you share the informations to all. If you find it helpful, definitely share it with your friends as well. So coming to the exam pattern, unlike the previous lectures, I'm just dividing into different way. That is, there are three types of questions. Easy questions are there, moderate questions are there, difficult questions are there. Okay, now if you see one by one, what are these categories? Easy questions, understandably repeats, previous repeat questions. One-liners, okay, one-line questions, which are memory-based questions. Again, other memory type questions. All these are easy questions. Okay, now you have to understand number of attempts. To understand that, you have to understand here. Okay, now moderate questions, basically, it's more than one line. You can consider it to be moderate question. Anything more than one line or at times two lines. More than two lines, you can call it as moderate questions. Now, this is very important to understand for your time management. Okay, then all those concept-based questions are moderate questions, no doubt. New modified questions of previous repeats. Okay, this is also, a kind of moderate question, definitely. Now, what are difficult questions? Clinical case-based questions, image-based questions, all these are new. New questions, which are not the modified versions, which are actual new questions. Okay, then absolute bouncers. So please understand, you get all these kinds in that 240. Okay, in the 240 questions you get in the exam, you get all these type. So you should be able to tackle each one of it. Okay, now how to manage your time? Basically, I tell the students to attempt the paper in 3 rounds. So how many type questions we have? Easy, moderate, difficult. So 3. Okay, slight variation, but I'll let you know. Okay, and there are certain things which you have to keep in mind. So basically, your round 1 is going to be how? Okay, round 1, round 2, round 3. So what are the round 1 questions? Only easy questions. Please note, there is a reason behind that. That is, no matter how much number you are attempting, only easy questions. Okay, only easy questions you're going to attempt. That is the question which you can answer when you read the first few words. Okay, first few words you're starting to read, definitely don't think that, oh no, the new pattern of exam, all questions are difficult. No, if you have prepared well and good, you have put your efforts, you will get a good number of easy questions of this sort. You read a few words of it, you know the answer. Okay, but yes, definitely it's not jumping into the answer. Analyze the options, take a few seconds. But yes, these are the type of question. Now, no matter how much the count is, usually approximately 70 to 100. Usually, a well-prepared student attempts 70 to 100 minimum when they attempt these easy questions. Now, it depends upon your state of mind also. If you're too much worried, then yeah, you might feel like you will be attempting less than that. So your worry, you have to be stress-free. Stress management, I'll come to that in the next part of this lecture. Okay. Now your brain, now why is it important to attempt in 3 rounds? You know, first thing is any machine has to be heated up for its best efficiency, isn't it? Similarly, your brain needs to be heated up. All those neurotransmitters, everything should start working. Also, more blood circulation should reach. Okay, stress levels should come down. Then only your brain will function at its best. So, anyone who have written this exam in 3 rounds in a serious way understands this better. Now, the problem is, you attempt academy test papers. You are not at all stressed. You know that this is not going to decide your MD seat. Then what happens is that this kind of feeling doesn't come. That's why I always tell, attempt the AIIMS exam. Okay, because AIIMS exam is a semi-final. I'm not going into that. Anyway, now if in case any doubt you have, skip it. Okay, any doubtful thing, skip it. Okay, then it will come under the category of doubtful questions. Now, don't read any question. Now, at this round, be very careful in this regard. If any question is more than 2 lines, don't read it. Why? You're saving time there. Imagine many people make this mistake. They read the entire question, then realize that I don't know this is difficult, this is confusing, then already 30-40 seconds are gone there, then worrying. 10 questions like that, you lose your 5 minutes, isn't it? So 5 minutes for, that's a big problem. So the moment you see more than 2 lines, don't read it. 1. In round 1, attempt it only if you know the answer by reading few words of it. First line usually. Okay, so this is the round 1, easiest of questions. Your brain has heated up now. So what next? The next thing is round 2, moderate questions. Okay, now basically please understand here, easy questions, attempting moderate questions are 2 things. Attempting moderate questions, difficult questions, whatever, it requires a little bit of thinking and a few seconds of waiting period. You can call it as latency. Okay, so don't jump into a conclusion. I don't know, oh my God, I don't know. This is what happens with many students. They see a question slightly difficult. I don't know. The moment that message goes to the brain starts deleting what you know. Don't do that. Wait a few seconds, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, I'm going to discuss on that. Something known as retrograde analysis. Slowly the contents for retrograde analysis starts happening and you slowly understand, then connection happens and all. I'll come to that. But yes, don't jump to the conclusion, I don't know. No, wait a few seconds. No, that too in the second round. Okay, first round, no waiting seconds. Tap, the answer should come. Only thing is, you are verifying your answer is correct or not. Okay. Now, the round 3, very important. A few things to note here. You're going to do difficult questions. Okay. You're going to do only difficult questions, or I would say the ones maybe in the round 2, you felt like that is moderate and you left it, or in round 1, you left it because you initially felt you know it, but then, so all these comes in 3rd round. Okay, anything you don't know in 1st and 2nd is basically a difficult question, isn't it? Now keep in mind, okay, it's all messed up, I'll just correct it out here. Okay, fine. Keep in mind few things. don't even read the long questions in the first round. I've said this already. Okay. Now, take one more round if you need. Now, difficult questions you did. Then you come across, you realize that you did only 200 questions. Okay, I'll tell you how much questions to attempt. So you feel like you want to attempt little more because you know something. Take the fourth round. Okay, for all these, time management is important. For all these principles has to be applied. Don't be like, I'm going to read every question one by one. Many students, I put this a day before in the WhatsApp groups everywhere. The next day, you know what comes? Sir, I didn't get time. What did you do? I didn't divide into 3 rounds. I did it in 1 round. Finally, I missed even the questions I know. Okay, this is like the worst responses, and unfortunately we have to respond for it. Now what if, now this is another problem many students have. What if a long series of questions comes which you don't know? Like question number 1 you don't know, question number 2 you don't know, question number 3 you don't know, question number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, basically this is a state of mind. If you have prepared, actually there is no possibility that like you don't know kind of thing. But then your state of mind says that I'm worried, I don't know. So what should you do? Basically, if it's actually very difficult and you don't know 15 questions, it will be same for all mostly. If it's an actual. Now, if it's your thoughts, it will change. Once your brain gets heated up, it will change. But if it's an actual 15 questions, very difficult, you have no idea what, it's the same for all. It's going to be the same for all. That 15 questions will balance. Okay. So don't panic. Okay. So basically the winner is, now if 15 questions, for example, 15 questions are very difficult and no one knows, now the person who panics going to bring down his efficiency, and the one who just manages his stress at that moment is going to be the winner. So don't panic. Basically what it says, challenge the computer. I've told you the story. So comprehensive batch student. Tell the computer it's either you or me. Or I would say it's either you or me. Tell the computer. So, and don't even slightly start negative thoughts. Okay. And just go to the next question till you know. Till you reach the question, you know. Every time you don't know, it's either you or me. I'm going to just kill you today. Tell the computer. Okay. And whenever, there has been stories, people have got through aims through this. So come back later and then you'll realize that, okay, now something makes sense in this question. Okay, I'll come to that part very soon. Now, this is a very hot question. How many questions to attempt? Now, these are based on certain understanding. Okay. So, and then I'll give you the generalizations and certain things which you should never do, and analysis. I'll tell you what it all means. Now, based on 2 things. Okay. One is the months, the number of months you have prepared for. Now, imagine you have prepared for 1 year. Okay, definitely. First 8 months goes with an enjoyment studies. Not very efficient, but still, if you have put your efforts for 1 year, you have done your concepts, you have done your MCQs, you have done your exams properly. Okay. May students, if you have done your lectures, if you have done your dental pulse, if you have done your test papers properly, enough. Then it's general. You come to the general category. Okay. Now, next, basically another factor which decides is your first 2 rounds. How good your first 2 rounds went means you are analyzing the difficulty level of the exam. Now imagine, now this is not pakka generalization. You should wait that moment also. How is it? How the questions and all. It's not saying that no, absolutely it is like this. No, it's your experience also comes into play. Okay, at that moment. But in general, if more than 180 questions you have attempted in the first 2 rounds, okay, first and second round, not first round alone, first and second round means to say moderate to easy questions are more than 180, okay, then try to reach that 210 plus mark in the third and fourth round. Okay, third round in fact, not fourth round. 210 or even more, and take 1 more round to reach 20 more. in effect, it's approximately 230 plus. Some people say, oh my god, 230 plus, how can you say that? So that's called the competition. If you're saying that 230 plus, no, you are wrong. Either you have not experienced the exam, you have no idea about the competition, okay, and you have no idea about the analysis. The fact is 230 plus, especially when now NEET exam is generally easy to moderately difficult, okay. It's never going to be very difficult. So 230 mark is very, very important. I'll come to a few more analytics, but yes. Now if less than 80, if you have attempted less than 80 in your first two rounds, try reaching 190 to 100 marks, okay, and then 20 plus more. That is again 220 is bare minimum. Some people tell me, I attempted, sir, what I I attempted only those questions what I knew and I was very confident about. Now this was true 10 years back when questions were direct repeats. Around 220 questions were repeats. So people used to attempt whatever they knew so that there is minimum negatives. Now it is not like that. You already have 40-50 questions concept based which you have to do your analytics, like how to attempt clinical, how to attempt image based. So definitely you have to do some kind of knowledgeable guessworks, analytics, thinking process, everything. And please note, this scenario, this less than 180 scenario happens only if the exam is very difficult, okay, which is very rare in NEET MDS exam. Okay, in fact, most of the time it is. Always you can reach that. Now, provided you have done a good preparation. If you're someone who have come in the last 2 months and took a crash course, all of a sudden, usually it doesn't work out like that. Okay, usually, but definitely it's good to give an attempt, no doubt. Okay, now generally, say 220 to 230. So it can be plus or minus 5, usually plus 5, okay, which is 235, 250, 215. 215 to 235, but 215 and all is, you're risking yourself. Now, please don't worry about negative markings. Don't worry about negative markings. I'll give you the analytics below this analysis, okay? But please note, don't do blind guessing also, okay? Negative, one way to think is, I'm worried about negative markings, I'm going to leave it. No. Other way to think is, no, I'm going to attempt 240 out of 240, or okay, sir told me that you should attempt 230 and somehow reach 230. No, that's blind guessing. You shouldn't do that. You should do knowledgeable guesswork. How to do knowledgeable guesswork? I'll come to that. Okay, now, basically, let's do an analysis. We are taking 10 questions. Okay, we are taking 10 questions and we are doing guesswork. Just imagine you're guessing 10 questions. So, what are the possibilities you're going to get if you're guessing 10 questions in your exam? 2 possibilities, let's take. Okay, 2 possibilities, even more is there. So, in the first possibility, you're getting out of 10 questions you attempted, which was guessworks, not 240, like 240, definitely you're not going to guess 230 out of 230, right? Hardly how much questions you will guess. For example, 180 you did it properly, how much questions you're going to guess? Again 20 you will get. Okay, if you've done 180 good, 20 you will get. So, hardly 20 to 30 questions you will guess, okay? So now just consider of that 10 questions and imagine you got 2 correct answers, 8 wrong answers. Oh my God, what will happen now? Is what the question is. So what is the marking system? 2 correct answers, 1 question, 1 correct, 4 marks. So 2 correct, 8 marks. 8 wrong, minus 8. So what is the net marks? 0. You're not gaining anything, you're not losing anything. Isn't it? So 10 questions you did knowledgeable guesswork and you did only 2 correct, 8 went wrong, means to say 20 questions you went 16 wrong and 4 correct, still you are not losing anything, maybe you are not gaining anything. Now some will tell me, no, negative marks will affect your rank. It is not going to affect your rank in the way you think. I'll come to that also in the troubleshooting part, okay? Negative marking is going to affect your rank, but how? Let's see. Now, yes, the second scenario, instead of 2, you got 3 correct answers. Okay, and yes, if 3 correct, 10 guesswork, 7 is going to be wrong. So 4 into 3, 12, minus 7, how much is going to be the answer? Plus 5. Imagine just doing guesswork, you got plus 5 marks. 5 marks is going to jump your rank drastically up. Imagine 20, 10 marks. Imagine 30, 15 marks. It's absolutely now 180 questions also. Here also some questions will be definitely, okay, a little bit of guesswork will be involved. Okay, but yes. So please understand this. Don't worry about guessing, but don't do blind guessing also. Two very important rules of guessing. Now, how to attempt a clinical question? Now, this is what we are doing, a series of clinical question discussion, but based on that, I'll let you know. First thing is, don't panic. You see a clinical question, don't panic, because clinical questions will be there. Okay? At least 20-25 clinical questions will be there, most probably. Now, see one thing. Most of the time, there will be a key point. Not most of the time, all the time there will be a key point, which will be that one particular 1 or 2 words which will tell you this is the answer. So try to identify that. Okay, now if you're not getting a key point, don't sit and first reading try to get it. If you're not getting it, don't sit and read again and again and again, where is the key point, where is the key point? No, look into the option next. So means to say you have options: Paget's disease, fibrous dysplasia, cementoosseous dysplasia, and some other vague option. Means to say where is it, which area it is talking about. Fibroosseous lesions. Now connect. Okay, look into the options and connect the option. If you can identify a key point, connect it with that. If you can't identify the key point, based on this, it's called retrograde analysis. I'll come to that. Based on this options, it means that they're talking about fibroosseous or fibroosseous lesions of oral cavity. What key point can you get in relation to that? It's not reading the questions again and again. Many of you might have done the mistake. Now, you connected, you got a key point, you connected. Try eliminating the options. You'll see that definitely this is not the answer, like kind of thing. Okay, so then, yeah, I've been discussing clinical questions, and I've been telling this methodology in the clinical questions about key points and how to identify them. And we'll come to this more and more. So this is the way to do it. It's not reading the questions again and again or panicking it. Now, how to attempt image-based questions? Again, everywhere I'll tell you, don't panic. Okay, very, very importantly, don't panic. Now, identify if the image is genuine or not. Why did I say that? Many times what happens is that there is no relation with the image and the answer. They will give you some very vague image, but the answer is already there in the question. Or it's like without the image also you can answer it. Even if that image was not there also, you would be able to answer it. That kind of questions will be there. Okay, so what happens with the students is that the moment they see the image, oh my god, image-based question. No, don't worry. Identify if the image is genuine or not. Means to say, can you identify the answer from the question itself? Okay, is there any key point in there? If yes, if you can identify it's a genuine one, okay, like some instruments, for example. Definitely it's a genuine. Identify the instrument or what is the purpose of the instrument. Definitely the image and the question is related. Then what you have to do, most of the time I've seen is that mostly they are repeats. Like we give you lots of images on our app, or those who are not there, you also have lots of images behind your dental pulse. Do them. Most of the time these images will be from there. Okay, and please note, don't do too much of explanations of the image-based questions. It's not required. Now, if it is not easy, most of the time it's easy. If it is not easy, then look into the option. Same thing. Try to eliminate, connect, all those. Now, if the image is not genuine, means to say some histological picture, which definitely you are not an oral pathologist to answer any question from a histological picture, isn't it? So most of the time the description, you will see some questions on salivary gland pathology. Very clear description is there in the question. They simply give you some histopathologic picture. In fact, you can even answer it. So if then, basically it's mostly a clinical or concept based question. Okay, then go back to the same rule. Okay, identify the key points, connect it with the options. Yes, retrograde analysis will come to that. Now, how to attempt the questions which you are confused about? You feel like, okay, first round is over, second round, you're a little confused. At that moment, try to leave it. Don't do it. You'll come to the third round. Okay, in the second round, see, basically, confused questions should be kept for third round. Third round is where you're going to think properly. Second round, a little bit of thinking, but no confusions kind of thinking. Okay, so yeah, don't panic. Always don't panic. Now, always this kind of questions, wait for a few seconds. Calm down. Try to, now this is where, do a retrograde analysis. What is basically retrograde analysis? Retrograde analysis means you read the questions, you read the options. Okay, basically imagine the question is on amyloblastoma, okay, or multiple myeloma, just example, multiple myeloma, okay. So you know multiple myeloma is where did you study that? Just in general medicine, for example. Okay, I studied this multiple myeloma in blood, in the chapter called blood. Now, in the chapter called blood, this is going back a little bit of time, not definitely it should be fast enough. Now I'm saying you, explaining you. So in the chapter of blood, okay, now where? In the region of, yeah, lymphocytes, B cells, plasma cells, all those. So slowly by slowly connecting, going back, then you develop that photographic memory, or that picture comes to your mind. Now reconnect it, that photographic memory, that picture. Now for developing photographic memory, you have to do revisions, more and more revisions. Otherwise, right away you won't develop. One thing is to develop a photographic memory, one is revision, no doubt. Second is learning it in a systematic way. Otherwise, you're simply randomly solving questions, it will not help. So please learn it in a systematic way. And revisions, more important, even more important. Even if you're not learning it systematically, revisions can help you in tackling the problem. So this is going back and coming in front. So this confusion will be that once that picture comes to your mind, this confusion will go. Okay. Now, how to attempt new questions? You'll see that questions are something which you know, question, you know it. Okay. But then the thing is that it's slightly modified. It's not directly from the previous question. It's not a direct dental pulse question. It's slightly modified. Do the same thing. Go back to the theory. Retrograde analysis. Where first don't jump into the chapter. Which subject? Which chapter? Which topic? Which subtopic? Then that picture becomes more and more clear, and you'll be able to answer. So that is, as I've told you, very important photographic memory. Okay, and connect it with the option and the question, and yeah, then it becomes easy. Now, how to attempt the questions I have no idea about. Now, this is very important. There are certain rules to attempt these kind of questions. Usually in the exam, you get 10, 20, maximum 30 questions of this sort. Maximum 30, not even 30, 10, 20 questions. Okay, now what certain rules for this kind of questions are there? Okay, there are 4 rules basically to attempt this kind of questions. Don't insist to attempt. Don't say that, no, I have attempted 230, I'm going to reach that 240. No, don't insist on that. I want to attempt, no, it is nothing like that. That's based on that analysis. Okay. Second rule is, check the total number of attempts. Have you attempted 230? Okay. Yeah, if you want 5 more maximum, not 240, please don't do that. Okay, now if you have attempted 210, yeah, you can do a little bit more, but yes, the rule number 3 applies here. No blind guessing. Even if you need more questions to be attempted, no blind guessing. Okay, what is blind guessing? Or if you like, this is the answer. Intuition came, this is the answer. So how to tackle the intuition, I'll tell you. Okay, how to arrive at a correct answer from intuition, that's also important. So knowledgeable guessworks, very important. It's not blind guessing. Any question you have no idea about, can you go for the retrograde analysis? Can you identify the key point? Can you understand the options from which chapter it is coming from? It will be connected. So, for example, if I take a dental subjects, they'll tell you flap surgery, that surgery, means there's a surgical periodontics they're talking about, or some instruments, curate, the non-surgical instruments they talk about, or gingivectomy knives you're familiar with. So they're talking about 3 gingivectomy knives in the option, means it is related to gingivectomy. Okay, now go back, retrograde analysis. This seems to be from this area. Slowly by slowly, intuitions, everything works out, but no blind guessings. Okay, so these are the rules. Now, yeah, at times you'll have to leave 5 to 10 questions. Okay, it's not always possible. Now, again, if the exam is difficult, even more, 220. But yeah, you have to analyze it this way. Not saying that exam is your first round will always tell you the exam is tough. The second round will also tell you that exam is tough. The third round will slightly, tell you, if I'm thinking a little bit, I feel like it's okay. The fourth round will only actually tell you actually the exam was tough or not. People don't reach here also. People come to the conclusion in the first round, exam was tough, so I'm going to attempt only 220. No, that's very wrong method. Now, importance of easy questions, I've said this many times, it can eliminate you from the competition. There is no better sentence to use for easy questions. Okay, easy questions, I've said this many times and I've explained there's a reason. So don't take easy questions lightly. You have to do your previous repeats. Very, very important. It's not always new questions. Now, some troubleshooting. Okay, a few things which students have asked me about. Okay, one is how to reduce my negative markings. Now, you can't directly go and sit in the examination hall and think that, okay, today I'm going to decrease my negative markings. No. Yeah, it should happen now. Okay. And that's the reason why I'm putting it. So, yeah. So, the best way to reduce your negative markings is by what? Practicing more and more questions. Learning from your mistakes is the best way to reduce negative markings. Now, for example, you did a test paper. You went out of 240 questions, 50 questions you went wrong. Just imagine, 50 questions you went wrong. You are going to analyze each and every wrong question. Why did you go wrong? What was your thought process which took you to the wrong answer? Correct that thought process. Tell to yourself, I am not going to make a mistake here now. In this type of questions, I will not think in that way, I'll think in this way. If you want to write it down and review it. Okay, because it's very, 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 very important to correct your thought process to get this done. Now, many students will ask me, does negative markings affect my rank? Definitely yes. Definitely yes. More negatives, your rank will come down. But only when there is a tie of marks. Now see, for example, imagine I've scored, let's give one question 1 mark, okay? So 100 questions are there. So I and you are writing the exam. And I got, for example, 80 marks. I attempted to 100 out of 100. I got 80 marks, okay? And 20 negatives. So 20 negatives, minus 0.25, basically just imagine. For every 4 questions, so it will be like around 1 mark for every 4 questions will be how much? Yeah, 5 marks approximately. 5 marks less. So what is going to be my net mark? 75. Okay. Now, yes, I got 75 marks. Imagine I got 20 negatives and my mark was 75. Imagine you have got 10 negatives and your mark is 60. Your negatives are low, but definitely your rank compared to me will be low only because your marks are low. Imagine the situation, I also got 75, you also got 75. In that case, who has got more negatives will come down, less negatives, the rank will go up. For that, as I've told you, your marks has to be high, isn't it? Your marks has to be equal. So what people do is it will not attempt it. So how you're already down there. Then even if you have very low negatives, it is not going to count. Okay. So that's about reducing negative markings majorly by practicing. Okay. Now intuitions. When some students tell me, like, I got a strong feeling that this is the answer. Always, then what happens? You come from the examination hall, you check it, you check in your answers, and you find that, oh, that was correct, but I didn't attempt. Okay, so what should you do with this kind of this type of questions? The first thing which you have to do here is, even if you get an intuition, check with the other options. Try eliminating, try see if you can eliminate some options if possible. Okay, connect the option you feel to be correct with the question or the key point if they are matching, even if it's an intuition. Now see, you're purely going behind intuition means it's same as blind guessworks. Okay, now and please note, don't hesitate when an intuition comes. Don't say, no, it's intuition, I'm going to know, I'm not going to attempt it. No. Try eliminate the options, connect it if possible, then still that intuition is still there, go for it. Okay. Now changing the options. Now many students tell me this. When I was attempting the question, I answered B, but later on when I came back, I felt like the answer is C. So which option should I stick to? Should I change it or not change it? Now what the research says is that the first choice is mostly correct. First choice is mostly correct. So imagine you answered B, you came back, you feel like it's C, unless and until, okay, or you can change only if there is a strong reason backed by knowledge, something which you have learned, you're absolutely sure about it, then only change, otherwise don't change it. Okay, because most of the time the second thought is based on you feel tired, you feel saturated, that moment. Your first was when you were fresh. Okay, unless, now see, it's not always correct, unless it's backed by strong knowledge, you can change it. Okay, if there is backing up of strong knowledge, change it, no problem. Now another thing is, what is the knowledgeable guesswork? So basically two things. Basically, as I've said this many times, connect the question with the options, or options, the correct right ways, options with the question or key points. Eliminate it, whatever possibly eliminatable. Okay, then yeah, go back, retrograde analysis and photographic memory. Scan each options, can eliminate more. That is how you call it as a knowledgeable guessing. There is nothing other than that. Okay, except intuition. When intuition comes again, this is going to come into play. Okay, so yes, now yeah, reducing negative markings. I just want to add one more thing. I told you practice, learning from your mistakes, all those. One more thing I just want to add here. The best way I have personally felt, the best help, divine help you call it, because a small wrong thought can go it wrong or can make it wrong. A very small wrong thought at that particular second, you're wrong, you went wrong. Now for correct that, the best way is to be staying positive, sharing your knowledge. Very important. I'm not saying that you should teach everyone, but yes, if someone comes for help them. Okay, if someone is saying, I have this doubt, now it's very little at BDS level, but you know, in the +2 level, it's very high. Even if the other person knows it, what they say, I don't know. The exam results come and they get correct. I asked you, we discussing the question paper. No, this is the answer. He might have forgotten that he said he don't know. The previous day. This is the answer. Then we ask him, man, you told yesterday, told you don't know, then no, that is because that he'll have hundreds of reasons, isn't it? So you should not be like that. Share your knowledge. Let others learn. Okay? Because the more you share, the more you get. Every religion says it. Like, okay, so this is what the session 1 is all about. The session 2, I'm not going to take it today definitely, but I'm going to discuss a few things here. Tips to rule out incorrect options. Very important. I'm sure we are waiting for that. Making educated guesswork. What's the rule behind that? Few things I've already told you. Critical thinking and analytical skills. Okay, now this is very important to develop. Stress and anxiety management in the examination hall, not during your studies. And very importantly, the last 3 days prior to the exam hall and on the day of exam hall. And yeah, this one, stress management has to be practiced early. Okay, on the day of exam hall, then quick way for question analyzing and answer. Okay, quick way of analyzing a question and answering the question. And yes, the next session is going to be live. So what you people can do is go to the website, register on it, because the live sessions will be conducted on the website. So what you have to do is go to the website, okay, and yes, register on it. Step 1. Step 2, there is a WhatsApp icon there. Click on that. Send. I want the link for the live session for this particular, that is part 2 of the tips and tricks. Okay, take a little bit of effort. Okay, some people, you know what they do. Click. Neet live. Now see, the person who is sitting on the other side has been getting lots of messages for the entire day. What is this Neet live? Huh? So please make it very clear. And yeah. So yes, by that I'll just come to the end of this session. Once again, let me repeat. Yeah, one more thing. If you want me to discuss anything else, please comment below. Especially those who are watching on the YouTube. And yes, especially those who are watching on the YouTube, please share it. Please share the knowledge to your friends so that also everyone gets benefited and you get benefited by a divine help and more knowledge. Okay, so thank you so much. Have a great day. Take care.